could you please tell us about Sea Change Education?
Hi, great everybody. I think before talking about sea change, just the prelude to that is that I've been in my third career, and I founded Sea Change in 2019. And my first career started in federal courts as a prosecutory side in the district bench in New York. So I worked in the last 20 years as a lawyer, U.S. lawyer. So Sea Change started in 2019, mainly because of what we see as a very urgent need, not just for students, but for anyone, including all of us as adults, which is the onslaught of massive information surrounding us low down. And so there's a need for us to be able to intake, digest information responsibly, and output information responsibly. Hence, we founded Sea Change, essentially a communications academy for 5 to 99 now, because it's really job skills related. And so a proprietary program, so you may ask, what do we teach? Like, what is in Sea Change Education? We are a communications academy focused on life skills, and a proprietary program is called Think and Speak program. So the left side is thinking, critical thinking, logical thinking. And then the right side is you can then output persuasive communication. How do we do that? It's through 3 main programs for different levels. Level 1, speech, very simple. Everybody needs to start to be able to talk, communication. Level 2, you start upskilling. We talk about upskilling today. It's the thinking aspect, which is debate. Debate is a channel for us to practice thinking, quick thinking, logical thinking, critical thinking, and then output persuasive speech. And then the last level, level 3, is really global exposure. So we'll talk more about that in detail later, but that essentially are the 3 pathways for Sea Change.
Okay, so can you delve deeper into telling us how your programs would benefit the general public?
So we talk about direct beneficiaries and indirect beneficiaries. I think clear to all of us, the direct beneficiaries are the students, the learners. So 5 to, let's say, not go so far, it's 99. 5 to 24 at least, covering from kindergarten all the way to university and job skills. Clearly, those are the people who would like to hopefully answer yes to the following. How many of you would like to speak and be heard?
Of course.
Okay. How many of you, surely, would like to speak to influence? So for the kids, how do they benefit is, we're not talking about learning English. Learning English doesn't get you success. But if you can speak to influence and impact people's decision, your 80% is being successful. So that's the primary beneficiary. And how do we do that? It's easier said than done. Teaching thinking is a very soft cognitive science. And then also persuasive speech is another no formula type of science. So that is what we do. We teach things that are not formula driven, but we boil down to a lot of strategy to the kids. So that's the direct beneficiaries. Now the indirect beneficiaries are all of you, some of you here, parents. How many parents? Teachers, school, principal. Why? Because when we teach, we try to motivate the self-drive from within, find their passion. They're self-motivated to practice the skills we give, because we can't push people to think. Can't say, think, right? You know, we can't do that. We can only do that if you're in the right channel. For teenagers, bilingual, 年輕人嘅話題你要講得入題先。Second, it has to be interesting. They enjoy the topic. 啱 key, 唔啱 key 唔使傾，係啦。So then you have a chance to start influencing and motivating them to learn. So with a lot of success stories, I can give maybe 1 or 2, just to give context, right? Top schools English Prize Award winner. Come to our class. Speak no English, no word in the single class. I don't want to say speechless, but they don't have the environment. They're absolutely top 1 English award winner in a top school. There's simply no environment for them to speak. So it's not that they can't, they just lack the confidence or the practice. Like sports, a lot of what we do in competitive debate is practicing the muscle, thinking and then output. So in 3 months' time, So initially, when they come into our, we're mainly an online academy, but we also have team that go to school. But let's say online academy, you can only see the eyes. Okay, so they're not engaged. It's okay, but can't be forced. But eventually, you can see the nose, can see the full face. And when we launch our Hong Kong team selection, we're the official host for the largest speech and debate competition around the world. In UK, that's Oxford's British Parliamentary. And in the US, that's NASD. So when we do a Hong Kong team selection and ask and do an open recruitment, this child raised her hand. We have succeeded. Somebody who never spoke English, be it in different schools, Chinese school, English school, international school, this is quite prevalent across Hong Kong. So from somebody who could speak but unwilling to speak, became somebody who come forward. Oxford is no joke. Oxford school debate is a very competitive debate. And in Hong Kong, the general standard, when you get to that level, is very globally competitive. So when a child who's started without speaking 2 years ago now come forward and got chosen and actually went to Oxford, I think that's the full pathway where you graduate from level 1, 2, 3, and then our uniqueness is really our global pathway and actual real-life practice.
Okay, can you show us more about this on the screen?
So this explains the different levels. From the different age group, blue is really the level 1, like speaking. And then thinking is going on to the upper primary, orange, thinking and speaking. Now the green part, light green, is the global exposure, the 3rd level. Now I didn't tell you about the last level, if you can see on the screen, which is, I'm going to test the moderator. What's the last level I didn't talk about?
The varsity team.
Yes, so thank you. So that's the scholastic academic group, and that's where kids self-select to be competitive. Like some kids like football, ice hockey. Some kids just love to debate, and there's a very competitive track. So as mentioned, we're the official host for Hong Kong team and the training squad, and then this are our global calendar of some of the competitions that we run. So largely we are online, academy B2C. In schools, we send our teaching team to schools such as Chinese school, English medium school like Singbo Lo Lam Lui, and international school like Wang Lap, Chinese medium school like Pui Kiu. We're all over in the level 1, 2, 3, and depending on the level, there's a whole lot of practices they can do throughout the year, and this is part of it. And we'll take kids all around the world, as you can see. Hopefully some of you recognize Oxford. That's our recent competition earlier this year. The Hong Kong team competed. Hopefully some of you see New York. That's where our model United Nations team competed and got selected to go on stage, being 0.1% of total participants. But mind you, when you're in New York, everybody speak. They try to fight to speak. They speak when they may not necessarily have substantive points. They just speak, right? So when our kids are in New York, they're able to get to the 0.1 nominated students to get on stage. It's something to be reckoned with. And so you should see New York, we have fun, we go compete, but everybody really have a good time. So I think this is a good chart to illustrate. The orange line is Sea Change, our online academy and our school team B2B. It goes across from English proficiency level, be it level 1, 2, and 3, from left to right. You can see Chinese medium schools on the left side. You can see English medium school in the middle. And for highest English proficiency in international schools, we have 3 different lines. So in the Chinese medium school, you see blue. That's our EdTech line being developed at Cyberport. So that's where the kids need a lot of practice, right? They don't want to speak to you because they're not sure if it's correct. So the EdTech line is a self-paced line where they can just learn anywhere, just tok, 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 and they can learn in the bathroom at home until they get it right. Then they are more confident. They can now face everybody and speak. So the orange line is a standard across. But what about Jerome, what you mentioned as the scholastic team? We run a lot of conferences and competitions. So real life practice like this, what you're doing now, it's really important for adults, for kids, for students to be able to interact and to be able to put life skills to practice. So the very exciting part is also our global conferences.
Now, can you tell us what's in the pipeline for Sea Change this year, and what exciting competitions can we expect? What programs are you launching?
So yes, the next one upcoming would be this summer. I think here we before I get to that page, the latest is this year we started hosting Oxford schools, and then also we'll be starting the selection actually in fall, and the team will be formed and we'll do a squad training. And also our flagship debate competition, IPDC, that's being fused with the largest in the US, NASD, so that will be a selection ground for the next Hong Kong team. But one last thing to share, it's really most immediate in August. It's our Model United Nations Conference, 模擬聯合國. So bit bilingual, so kids will role play as head of state and will discuss the largest global problems, be it drones flying on sky. What does it mean for militarization? Because waging a war becomes costless, essentially, or be it solving the world hunger problem, be it water pollution. If water filtration is so standard, why do we have 3.5 million die each year from water pollution? So these are global problems. Some of them are very perennial. Wildlife trafficking. So this is co-organized with the City U. It will be held at City University. Kids will have two choices. In the program here on the far right side, it's a hardcore fun academic program, 2 days or 7 days. So in the 7 days, it's a Future Language Academy. Future Language being 兩文四語. 個四語係乜嘢? Data literacy, data storytelling. That's what we do. That's how we speak to persuade. So in the blue part, you have this completely augmented program in collaboration with Data Mindset Academy. The red part is going to fun labs at CityU, led by dean and professors, such as Marine Pollution Lab, Computer Engineering Lab, the Physics Millimeter Lab, and also Veterinary Science Lab. So super fun and boarding. So you get to experience CityU University life. And then perhaps find your own passion along the way.